Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun, first performed in 1959, is one of the most important works of American drama. The play follows the younger family as they struggle to decide how to use a life insurance payment following the death of the family's patriarch. As each family member pursues a different dream, they must confront poverty, racial discrimination, and the difficult choices that shape their future. Hansberry's groundbreaking work was the first play by an African-American woman to be produced on Broadway, marking a milestone in American theater. Hansberry's literary style combines realism with emotionally rich dialogue and nuanced characterization. Set almost entirely within the younger's small apartment, the play captures the everyday challenges of working-class life while exploring broader social and moral questions. Its realistic setting and authentic conversations give the characters a depth and humanity that continue to resonate with audiences. The play explores themes of the American dream, family, racial discrimination, identity, dignity, generational conflict, gender roles, and hope. Through the younger's shared struggles and aspirations, Hansberry examines the importance of self-respect, perseverance, and the pursuit of a better future. More than 6 decades after its debut, A Raisin in the Sun remains a powerful reflection on the enduring quest for equality, opportunity, and human dignity. The story starts with the younger family waking up in their cramped apartment on the south side of Chicago. The home is worn down from years of use, with too little space, one small kitchen window, and a bathroom shared with neighbors in the hall. Ruth and Walter Lee share one bedroom, Mama and Benitha share another, and young Travis sleeps on the living room couch. From the first scene, the apartment shows what the family is fighting against. Not only poverty, but the feeling of being pressed into a life too small for their dreams. A $10,000 insurance check is about to arrive because Walter's father has died, and every member of the family imagines a different future through that money. Walter wants to invest in a liquor store with his friends, believing business ownership will finally make him feel like a man with control over his life. Ruth is exhausted and practical, but she sees how badly Walter needs hope. Benitha wants to become a doctor and resents Walter's belief that her education is less important than his plans. Mama, the head of the family, dreams of buying a house with a yard where Travis can grow up with space and dignity. The family tension builds because the check is more than money. It is the last physical result of Big Walter's years of labor, and everyone feels its weight differently. Walter sees it as his chance to escape humiliation. Benitha sees it as belonging to Mama. Mama sees it as a sacred responsibility. Ruth, caught in the middle, is carrying another secret. She is pregnant, and the family's poverty has made her consider an abortion. At the same time, Benitha is trying to discover who she is. She dates George Murchison, a wealthy black man who represents comfort and status but seems shallow to her. She is far more interested in Joseph Azagai, a Nigerian student who challenges her ideas about identity and brings her gifts from Africa. Azagai makes Benitha think seriously about African heritage, her straightened hair, and the difference between performing independence and truly living it. He calls her Alayo, meaning she is someone for whom food alone is not enough, because Benitha wants meaning, knowledge, and selfhood. When the insurance check arrives, Walter tries to push Mama toward the liquor store investment, but Mama cannot accept a business she feels is morally wrong. She is also shaken when she learns Ruth has made a down payment toward ending the pregnancy. Mama wants Walter to step up as a husband and father, but he cannot even bring himself to answer Ruth with the reassurance she needs. His silence shows how deeply his own frustration has swallowed his ability to care for anyone else. Later, Mama makes her decision. She uses part of the insurance money for a down payment on a house. Ruth is overjoyed because the move means air, privacy, and a real bathroom of their own. But the house is in Clybourne Park, a white neighborhood, and that immediately introduces danger. Mama explains that it is the best house they can afford, and that she is trying to hold the family together. Walter, however, feels betrayed. To him, Mama has spent his dream. Walter's disappointment turns into despair. He stops going to work, wanders during the day, and drinks at night. Mama, seeing how broken he is, gives him the remaining money, and tells him to act as head of the family. He is supposed to put aside $3,000 for Benita's schooling and use the rest for himself. For a brief moment, Walter comes alive again. He imagines wealth, a better future, and Travis growing up with opportunities Walter never had. As moving day approaches, the family feels lighter. Ruth and Walter reconnect, and the new house begins to feel like a real beginning. Then Carl Lindner arrives from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. At first, he speaks politely about neighborhood harmony, but his message is racist and clear. The white residents do not want the youngers there. He offers to buy them out for more than they paid, hoping they will stay away. Walter, Ruth, and Benita are furious, and Walter tells him they are not interested. The family tells Mama what happened, and she supports their refusal. For a moment, they celebrate again, even giving Mama gardening tools and a large hat for the yard she has always wanted. Then Bobo arrives with devastating news. Willie Harris has disappeared with the liquor store money. Walter did not only invest his own share, he also gave away the money meant for Benita's education. Mama is overwhelmed with grief and rage. The money her husband earned through a lifetime of labor is gone, and Walter's dream has endangered everyone else's. After the loss, the apartment feels drained. Benita becomes bitter and questions whether becoming a doctor matters when human suffering seems endless. Assegai challenges her despair. He reminds her that change is never simple or guaranteed, but that people still have to fight for it. He tells her about his dream of returning to Africa to help build a better future and asks her to come with him. His words help Benita see that idealism is not childish if it is joined with courage. Meanwhile, Walter reaches his lowest point. He calls Mr. Lindner back, planning to accept the buyout money. The family is horrified because accepting the offer would mean admitting they can be paid not to live where they choose because they are black. Walter performs a degrading version of what he thinks Lindner expects from him, and Mama says he has died inside. Benita rejects him, but Mama tells her that the time to love someone most is when they are at their lowest. When Lindner returns with papers, everyone waits to see what Walter will do. At first he seems uncertain, but then something in him changes. In front of Travis, he chooses dignity. He tells Lindner that the Youngers are a proud, hard-working family, and that they are moving into their house. Mama lets Walter speak for them, and Lindner leaves without a signed agreement. The family finishes packing. Walter has lost the money, but in this moment he gains something else: self-respect. Mama sees that he has finally become the man she hoped he could be, not because he becomes rich, but because he refuses to sell the family's pride. As the movers carry out the furniture, Mama is the last to leave the old apartment. She takes one final look, then brings her small plant with her, carrying the symbol of her stubborn hope into the family's uncertain new future.